Hello and welcome to Nutrition Talks Week 5. This week, I want to talk to you about pre and post workout nutrition. So, this talk will be geared at Strong in 6 and the type of workouts that you'll be doing in the program Strong in 6. So, that is the recommendation that I'll be basing the talk around today. So it is very kind of specific to sports and individuals. So based on a 30 to 40-minute resistance training workout is the example that I'm going to give for the advice that I'll give today and the recommendations that I give today. So what you will probably find is you don't have a lot of time. So if that is you, this advice is definitely applicable. So you probably won't have a lot of time to eat before you go work out. You're a busy woman, you have plenty of things on your plate, work, kids, getting the house ready for whatever is coming up in your day, meetings that pop up, travel, you have a lot on. So I'm recommending that 30 minutes before you do workout, you fuel your body with carbohydrates. So, our preferred source of fuel is carbohydrates, unless you have metabolically adapted to a keto diet, which I don't necessarily recommend. It is something that I can talk about in another nutrition talk. However, if you are not metabolically adapted, the body's primary and preferred source of fuel is always going to be carbohydrates. So 30 minutes prior to your workout, you need to eat something. That should be a high GI food. So that will be typically a piece of fruit. I always recommend bananas because they're easily digestible, so they're not going to sit up here and make you feel uncomfortable during your workout. You'll be able to get that energy straight into your bloodstream very quickly because of the way it's absorbed in your body, and you'll have that fuel ready to go for your workout to increase the intensity to the level that we want for the results that you desire. So banana or fruit. Get your hands on any kind of fruit. That's a good idea. Another way to go is a liquid form of food. So a smoothie is a good way to go. Typically, they will be filled with fruit, a little bit of protein you can put in, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend for the type of workouts in this program that you put protein in your smoothie if that's the route you're going to go. And the reason for that is the catabolic effect that happens when you are training at a high intensity is not the level that we are training at. So it would be something that you could choose to do if you wish, but not necessary. Go the route of fruit. That's a good idea. If you've got an hour to 2 hours before your training, I'd recommend a mixed carbohydrate and protein meal. A good way to go if it's a morning meal is porridge with a protein based yogurt and a bit of fruit. So you're getting that energy that's highly available in your high GI option, which is the fruit. You're getting sustained energy release in the oats, which is the porridge. And then your protein is going to give you a sense of satiety as well as, anabolic effect, growing the muscle if it is 1 to 2 hours prior to your workout. Okay, so now post workout, I will always recommend after resistance training that you have a source of protein. So, food is the way you go. Supplements are only for when you're highly inadequate in your whole food diet or you have deficiencies or something of that kind. So steer clear of supplements. We want a whole food source of protein. So chicken, eggs, high protein yogurt, cheese is a good option. It will also give you a bit of fat. It is primarily fat for that, sense of satiety as well. Carbohydrates, you need to replenish the glycogen stores, which lower when you are working out. So glycogen comes from carbohydrates. When you eat it, it turns into glucose. When it's stored in your muscles and your liver, it is called glycogen. So we deplete that a little bit when we are training. So it would be a good idea to follow the rule of rebuild with the protein. So repair your muscle tissue with protein, um, replenish. So your glycogen stores, which you've depleted a little bit, that's with your carbohydrates, and then rehydrate. So you're going to get sweat loss, fluid loss from training. So rehydrate with electrolytes. So a great option for a post-workout meal would be an actual meal. So think, you can have a quinoa, chicken, and salad meal with salt for the loss of sweat and also plenty of water. That is a great option. If it's in the morning, toast, eggs, and a coffee, perhaps. That might be a good way to go. Coffee is also an incredibly great source of energy prior to your workout. So, bananas and coffee are an excellent pre workout choice. So, caffeine has great benefits for improved intensity and focus. In your workouts and therefore better results. So, caffeine and banana, always have the food before the caffeine because caffeine will raise your cortisol levels. The food will lower your cortisol levels. So, we want that balance. We don't want it to be too high. I hope this is helpful. I've jumped around a little bit, but very simply, fruit or bananas and coffee prior to your workout. Eat the banana or have the food first. Do your workout, and then after your workout, replenish with plenty of water, a little bit of salt, carbohydrates, and protein. So think about that macro guide. I'll resend it if needed. And have a wonderful day. I hope this was helpful. I'll speak to you soon.